Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Man, that intro can't get no better than that. It was loud, proud.
That was like we were at the fight there, wasn't it?
Yeah,
almost.
Under the
I
speakers.
was getting hyped, Mike.
Yeah,
I was getting hyped.
you got hyped.
I was starting to get flashbacks. Oh, God. Anyhow,
sweaty
welcome
he is.
to another round of Ray's Boom Boom Room. I'm your host, Ray Mancini, here with my ace corner man, cut man, Mike Case. Very special guest today. Very special guest. I'm going to introduce him in a moment. But I want to say we're back here at Charbonnet's Winery here in Warren, Ohio, downtown. And I just can't tell you how much I'm impressed by the inside. Everything. So, looks
What's the name of the place in Vegas? You think it reminds
Tivoli
you?
Gardens.
Tiffany?
Tivoli.
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 Tivoli Gardens.
Tivoli Gardens.
Still around or no?
No. I was as the 80s. You remember the 80s, Mike, don't you?
Yeah. Grew up in the 80s. 80s guy.
Yeah.
Born in the 60s.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Late 60s, right?
Really late.
Late 60s.
Like with about a month to go. Yeah.
And so yeah, but this is a great joint.
Yeah, it is nice. It's very nice here.
But
Yeah.
man, I got some my phone.
Oh, here the boys are
I can't.
texting away.
No, I can't do that.
Silence.
But anyhow, we're here with a very special guest, MMA. Now you got to tell me your record, Dalton, because I'll mess it up. Very special
it's
MMA.
easy to remember.
Climb, on the climb. Now you didn't win a title yet, or you wouldn't won a version of a title.
No, I haven't.
On the climb. You're on the climb. Okay. On the climb, top contender of middleweight.
Yeah, well,
Light
I was light
heavyweight.
heavyweight. I just got news that I'm moving down to middleweight for my next
Oh,
fight.
well, he just got news from somebody's telling him, guess what? You're moving down. You're moving down. If you want to, no, I'm just teasing you because you actually want to feel better at middleweight.
Yeah, I was pushing for it, but finally, it seems like they're gonna allow me.
So,
to do
Dalton
so.
Rosta, who's here, our special guest. We've had him on before. Dalton, do you have a nickname like in the ring?
Hercules.
Hercules. No, not like Rock and Rosta? You say Rasta Rosta?
Rasta.
Okay, man, Rasta man.
Rastafarian?
Yeah, man, Rasta man.
Not the Rastafarian?
Dalton Rasta man. Yeah, Dalton Rasta, Rock and Rasta. How about that? Dalton Rock and Rasta. I rock the shit out of you, man. Anyhow.
Too bad he wasn't around to give me my nickname.
I know. You would have had 7 of them by the time they would all rhyme.
They would've changed
Every one of
every day of
them.
the
Look,
week.
Yeah.
all in the flow. All in the flow. Rock and Rasta. Dangerous Dalton Rock. Dangerous Dalton Rasta.
That's good.
Dalton Rock and Rasta. See, anyhow.
I might have a new one before I leave.
No, I know. You probably will.
But and let's not forget, Mike, we have a special guest watching us today.
I know.
Are you an intern or an internship? What is this exactly? Or are you just bored?
It's a high school internship.
Oh, what high school do you go to? Clanfield. She goes to
no,
Clanfield
here
High
we
School.
go with the
She goes to
Clanfield.
Clanfield. Do you know where Clanfield is?
Yes, I do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Do you know that? You've heard of that, right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Just
For
so
those of you that can't see her, she's a white girl. Is that what you're going to
Oh,
say next?
would it be anything else? Let me explain. Let me explain, Lucy. Let me explain real fast. Canfield is a suburb of Youngstown. Along with there's Canfield, Bourbon, and Poland, Ohio. Okay, 3, right? It's as white bread as you can get. Was that way from when I was going to school. Forget ethnicity. There was no people. Forget people of color. There was no ethnicity. Now in Poland, it wasn't farther, but at least there was people of ethnicity because I went to school with a lot of them. There were some Italians there, not a lot, but some.
Right.
Now Clanfield, now we've infiltrated. They can't get rid of us. We're like ants all over the joint.
Right.
But back in the day, there was no ethnicity. I mean, people of color, forget ethnicity. And then they found out that in 1928 there was a sect of the Ku Klux Klan found, who had a clubhouse in Canfield. So Canfield thus became Clanfield.
Yet that was like 100 years ago. Maybe you could let it go.
Well, no,
It's
man.
1928.
My peoples were hurt. My peoples.
Our intern's Italian.
Yeah. But well, now she is. Well, we've infiltrated this. I
I
said
know.
we've infiltrated like ants. All my friends have moved out there because it's a beautiful place to live. Lovely, lovely people. Schools spectacular.
Great schools.
Great schools. Great school system. So there's no doubt. But you don't see any of the brothers going through there still. And I have friends of mine. I go, hey man, where do you live? Oh man, I live on Cornersburg. Oh, how do you go? You get to go through Clanfield? Oh hell no, man. We get stuff. Oh hell no. So they don't make long. I mean, it's true. Anyhow, but you don't have that problem though, do you? Anyhow,
Making her
thank you for
uncomfortable.
coming. Thank you for coming. I hope you learned something today. She's learned. I'm learning not to come back.
She's already learned about 5 words that she
She's
didn't
saying,
know.
I'm learning that this guy is making me not want to come back. And so, Dalton, fighting him, what is your record now?
2-0.
Okay, 2.
2-0 as a
Okay,
pro.
2-0 as a pro.
But the
two
first time
knockouts?
we had you on, what month did we have you on? Do you remember?
It was, I believe, February.
It was
And
before the
it was
second
be-
fight,
yes, it was,
right?
No, it was before my
Pro debut.
Before the debut.
I just signed with Bellator like
Okay.
a couple weeks
Okay.
before that. So I've had 2 fights. My third one's coming up May 9th.
May
San
9th.
Jose.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, before we get to you, I want to say, because we are all brethren in the martial arts, because it's boxing is considered martial art.
And when you say we, are you including me in that?
Well,
or
man,
not? Not
well,
really.
if pie eating was considered a contact sport,
I
you'd
would be a black belt. Right.
But so I want to talk to anybody who's a contact sport, anybody who's had any physicality. You see the fight with Fury Wilder?
Yes.
Okay, what did you think? Did you enjoy the fight? Did you
Well,
think-
yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not a fan of Wilder. Not really a Fury fan either, but I dislike Wilder more than I do Fury. So I was glad to see that. Reason being is because I'm a martial artist and because I have to work so hard to get to where I'm at and really focus on the fine details of everything. I don't appreciate the fact that he can get away with so much stuff just because he has that power.
Right.
The size and the power. I appreciate like the technique and the hard work that goes into boxing and the actual aesthetic of watching boxing. So I don't really like watching him box. I mean, he has power. A lot of fans like to see brutal knockouts, and I mean, why not? But
yeah.
at the same time, like he's been boxing for how long?
Right.
15 years. Like he could have learned how to box along the way instead of just throwing a jab and then throwing a telegraph too that's landing because he has an 84-inch reach.
But if you could do it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? No, I mean you can't knock it. As I said, you stick with what has gotten you there, and that seems to be that's his expertise now. You know, look, I got to know Deontay. I wasn't a fan beforehand. I got to admit, you know, things I had heard and stuff until I met him, and he's really a wonderful guy. Really a wonderful guy. I think but you don't know him. That's what I'm saying. So as a fighter, I had the same perspective until I met him. And I understand there's a method to the madness with him. There really is. And he's a great athlete. He's well conditioned, obviously being a fighter. He works his ass off. So, but you're right. When you have the eraser, and that's what Steve Kim, formidable boxing writer, calls his right hand, the eraser, because it can change the equation real quick. It does. And but to what you said, I think he's dependent on it so much. When he couldn't find it this time, he was kind of lost. Now, a couple weeks ago, we had Ed O'Neill on. Eddie was saying he wasn't impressed. He said, I'm not impressed with this guy because because he can't knock you out with that right hand, it's over for him. And I said, well, no, Ed, I think, he's a better fighter than that, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But he showed it. He didn't show it at all because he didn't have the jab, which is the basic. You know, if I can't find you, you don't throw the right hand unless you can hit the guy with the jab. If I can't touch you with the jab, but sure as hell, this ain't gonna touch you because you got to travel twice as far. And I'm sure, same thing with MMA guys. If you can't, they put the kick out. If you can't touch the guy with the leg kick, well, you ain't gonna shoot on him because you're leaving yourself exposed. So that comment, the jab, the kick is the same. It's the same. It's a finder. It's a reach finder. Yeah. How close? And Deontay is so much better fighter than that. I just was, I would say disappointed because
I was disappointed.
Why no?
But I'm sure he's a great dude. I understand.
No, I know what
you're
you're saying, but as a fighter, I'm talking about as a fighter.
I just think that I don't think either one of them really has ever had to box because they never fight guys their size.
No, you're right. That's a valid point.
But if you're going up a guy that you already boxed against, you better come with something different.
You're right.
Or better,
Mike, you're right.
And that's what disappointed me.
And that's what Fury did do. Mm-hmm. I agree with Dalton. I love fight. Now, my son said, Pop, he didn't care for it. He thought he was disappointed. A lot of guys said, you said you were disappointed with it. See,
not because of who won, just because of the match itself.
But see, I wasn't disappointed, I'll tell you what, because of the hype. The hype is bigger than the fight, and the fight never lives up to the hype. In this case, it actually did.
Yeah.
It actually did. And the fact of the matter is, and we said this before, and I'm not going to reiterate it. I'm not going to beat it up, but black and white. It's the nature of the beast. In combat sports, black versus white, always going to sell. Hispanic and white, always going to sell. Hispanic and black, two Hispanic together. But two blacks together doesn't sell, and either big and whites, two whites against each other, that's questionable.
Now, what about if it's like different countries? Like if we're doing like Anthony Joshua versus Wilder, that sells.
Yes, because you're right. It's a different country, but Fury and Wilder, even though they ain't American, will sell too because of the black and white. That's just the nature of the beast. Everyone wants to no, man, we know it. We know. I know that from being years in television, being in the fight game. That's just the nature of the beast. I'm sure. Look, I used to walk into gyms when I lived in New York. When I first turned pro, I lived in New York. I used to go into all black gyms and I go into all Hispanic gyms. I walk in, they start foaming at the mouth. Oh, they thought white meat, man. And my trainer, who was black, he used to tell me, Ray, you're going to have to earn your respect here, man. He said, man, don't go out there. Just, you go out there. We ain't looking for war. We're looking out there to learn. Sparring is a learning session. But if they jump on you, man, make them respect you. And of course, they try to go out there and make you look bad. They try to knock you out from jumping. You stand there and bang, and you fight back. And eventually, you got the whole gym stopping, coming out, cheering a guy like you're. It's a fight, You got to hold your own. So and I made my bones in those type of gyms. I held my own and be able to do that. But that's what I'm saying. It's the nature of the beast. I have no problem with that when people talk about it. It used to be before. It used to be it always historically combat sports. Boxing in general, let's just talk boxing. It's been imported as sport. In the 20s was the Jews, the 30s the Irish, the 40s was the Italians, now it's the black and Hispanic. MMA is kind of reversed it a little bit because MMA actually started, and whether people know or not, started down in a beach town, in the beach towns down south of LA. So it's basically, as a white suburban boy, sport. It's not really it's starting to cross over now, but it hasn't, not like boxing, obviously.
Yeah.
But what you got with the Brazilians, it's Brazilian, brought it over here. Jorge and Gracie brought it here, introduced it to America. And
that's one of the forms.
One of the forms,
arts.
right. Well, it was the first one.
Yeah, back when it first started, when UFC first started, you had no weight classes.
No, right.
Everybody had their own martial art. You had wrestlers versus jiu-jitsu guys, sumo wrestler versus kickboxer.
Kickboxer, right. Well, I actually did a commentary for one of them fights, and it was interesting. And that's when they made them fight more than one time in a night.
Yes.
They had to fight multiple times. Now they don't do that, which is the best thing for the fighters. But I'm just saying, the fight itself, I'm talking about Wilder and Fury, I think Wilder's. I know Deontay's a better fighter than that. He just didn't show it, and for whatever reason, the thing I'm getting to is now when you lose, you lose. When you win, you win. My father has taught me: when you win with humility. When you lose with dignity. You don't want to take away from the guy, however you lost. Yeah. To say now that my legs are dead because of the costume, who's the dumbass who wore that?
I've seen so many funny videos off of that.
The good news for you is there is a costume out there that you could get really cheap.
How about this? I just put in. I tell him about putting a robe in trunks. I said about putting a robe in trunks. How's that? He had it made, but here's the thing: he had the robe made. We understand boxing is it's becoming more of the theatrical.
It's a show.
About the theatrical. It is.
Which you've said many times that's important.
Of course.
It's entertainment business.
Yeah. Of course. But the old saying is sell the sizzle, not the steak. And you got to have a good piece of steak. That's the sizzle. We got it. But what did Wilder, he come in? But what did Fury do? He got carried in.
Yeah. That's the way to say it.
He got carried
opposites.
in. Yeah. But no, I have a lot of respect for Deontay. I'm a fan of his. I really am. And I know him as a person. He's a good brother, man. He really is a good guy. You lost. However you lost. To come out and say it was my costume, whether it's fact or not, which I'm sure it is. I'm not saying it's not true. But to say he didn't try it on until the night before, because I tried my stuff on. I used to have a woman make my stuff. I used to go get fitted before, and then, you know what you wear.
It's not the costume. That's a ridiculous excuse. What? He finally Tyson Fury, after fighting once, caught on. He got knocked down, almost knocked out in the first fight. But it's like you said, whenever you finally don't catch somebody with their right hand, what's going to happen? And it's easier said than done, but watching the dude fight, he doesn't just usually stick a jab out there. Usually every time he comes forward with a jab, he's throwing a right hand behind it.
Right.
So if he's doing it 8 out of 10 times, you know how to step out of range. It's easier said than done. He's athletic. He has powerful right hand. He has an 84-inch reach. So it's harder to actually do than to say. But at the same time, like most of these guys, they're professional boxers on the same level as him. Somebody that's 6'9", like Tyson Fury, who has the reach to match him, not be better, then you're gonna have problems, especially since Fury can box.
And if you watched what Fury did do, that was, He was taught, and he didn't. I don't think I saw it in the first fight. What he did in this fight was he was feinting a lot. With his feet, especially, feint.
Coming forward too. He wasn't backing up like he was in the first.
Feint, make him throw, and he was countering him. And that's, I think it's a lot to do with Sugar Hill, who was Manny Stewart's nephew. So he learned, you feint. You make guys get out of position by feint. Step to the side, feint. That's and being 6'9", as you said. And then he sticks out the jab, So Fury, I thought fought a terrific fight. I really did.
Tired him out as well. I mean,
Right.
he put his weight on him,
But
and
yes,
whenever
he
you're
did.
pressuring him,
Yes, he
walking
did.
him down,
Well,
that stresses you out.
Absolutely.
So it starts to exhaust you. You start getting tense.
You leaned over, you
yeah.
laid his back on it. You laid that 270, 208. By that time, he's close to 290, maybe 300. Laying it on your back, of course, it wears you down. But then he threw that body shot. He dropped it. Now, anybody get it? Look, you get hit right, you're going to go with a body shot. I ain't never been dropped with a body shot because, you turn to drop the elbow, you learn to block it. But you get it in a blind spot, Mike, you're going to go. Like, I can make you piss blood for a month if I hit you right. Anyhow,
You could.
That's a side thing. Folks,
know.
that's just a side thing. I don't know.
I drink a lot of water, so I would be pissing a lot of blood. So I don't want it. I just don't want it. Have you ever seen a heavyweight go down on a body
That was
shot?
a side.
No, that body shot was more momentum than anything. He didn't fall like he was off balance. He was square when he got hit with it, and he was off balance. And when he got hit, he was falling backwards already.
But when you remember, what Tyson Fury did do, he leaned over, got his weight in it, turned it. He didn't just throw it from out here. He stepped in, turned that, boom, turned it into. And you hit the guy right. You're gonna go because there's the area, the liver and kidney area has no muscle. There's no protected. That's why you just you're taught by dropping the elbow, turn the body a little bit. But he got caught right. So I will never knock that out. Knock him for that. Anybody can go. Anybody can go at any time. I just thought overall, and I love Deontay, man, as a person and brother. I like to see him. He's going to come back. He's already activated the rematch clause. But just some guys out there just are the bad matchup.
Yeah.
Just
Styles.
Styles make fights.
Yeah.
Styles make fights. That's a bad matchup for him no matter what. And I don't know what could be different. In fact, maybe more headache because Fury now has got that confidence builder. When you got a champion, you become a 40% better fighter. And I never understood why they say 40, Mike, instead of 50. Never.
I don't either.
He just said 40% because your confidence level, you ain't gonna do anything different physically, but your confidence level, and I don't know. Watching that, so now here next year. So now, as an MMA fighter, you see I see MMA fights. All the guy goes down, he gets hit, he goes down, he gets caught with it. Boom! Look, you saw the Cowboy Cerrone and McGregor fight. 15 seconds, he got hit. We know Cerrone can fight. He's got a lot of balls. We know the guy's got heart. Got caught.
Yeah.
We're gonna say, I just saying that, as I know a lot of MMA guys I've talked to since they're very adamant. They were very angry that they say because he used that as an excuse. You know what I mean?
Used what as an excuse?
The uniform weighed him down.
Oh yeah.
A lot of MMA guys I know, friends of mine, talk to them, man, because
Here's one
all
of
the
them.
stuff they go through, they got used.
He's agreeing.
Yeah, I am agreeing with it, but I mean, it shouldn't be just MMA fighters; it should be boxers,
Boxers too.
Have
No,
you ever
no,
trained in a weighted vest? You ever run?
Well,
10
he
miles?
does train with a weighted vest too.
Yeah. You ever run not even 10 miles, 5 miles before practice, and then you go and spar? Like you're used to this stuff.
Right.
You're not walking 100 yards at the length of a football field with a questionable costume
Right.
and saying that caused you to lose the fight. No, what happened over the course of the fight and what you did leading up to the fight in training camp caused you to lose that fight.
Of course. Fights. I always tell people, this as well, Mike, that they say fighters see the fight's lost. Days going up to we get a fight 10 days out. I used to go gym fight. They get to all 15 rounds, 4 different sparring partners. This guy have 2 rounds. This guy comes for a round. This guy comes for a round. This guy comes another round. This comes for another 2, and then the last 3 rounds, I had 4 sparring partners. My manager, my trainer used to have each guy in each corner come at you for the first minute. You come in the second minute. Come in for the third minute.
Like a Shark Tank.
And he'd say, take them out. And he'd say, these are the last 3 rounds. And I'm already gone 12, and now they're, That's when you know you're ready. That's 10 days out. My trainer said, you ain't gonna get in better shape within those 10 days. Now you got to maintain what you have. People don't understand. There's 2 phases of getting ready for a fight: conditioning, which is the early stages, and sharpening. Now you focus on the sharpening aspect. Maintain what you have. So you cut down on road work, you cut down on miles, bag work, you cut down on sparring rounds, all that to stay sharp. And a lot of rest. You got to rest. So fighters know that from all aspects, and that's why I think, if your legs are tired, if you've done all the right work, if you've done it the right way, you're prepared.
No matter what, that's always a tough thing to gauge.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Peaking, I tell people, peaking at the right time is an art. Oh, it's
Yeah.
a science. It's a science, man.
You might not figure it out till the last fight of your
Oh,
career.
it's a science. You got to know. And that's where you got to have a trainer who has that experience to know when you're peaking at the right time. Or when you are. So you go in there 100%. Because I don't know if any fighter has gone 100%.
Never.
I don't know if any, but no fighter. You say, oh, yeah, you always say, I feel 100%. I feel great. I feel best training camp of my life. Every camp's the best training camp of their life. How many lives you got? You know what I mean? I'm just, best training camp. Better than last time. Why would you do different? Oh, I didn't do anything different. Oh, it's better. Yeah, it's better. Okay. But
Who do you spar with somebody?
Do I spar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spar like 2-3
Do you have a
times
couple
week.
different people because maybe one does
Well,
a
you
different
got- yeah,
technique
you
or
got-
whatever?
Well, I've been going up to strong style for like past month or so in Cleveland, where Stipe fights, the heavyweight champ for UFC. I haven't been sparring with him at all, but there's a couple guys up there my weight that are in UFC. Another heavyweight, Jeff Hughes, Alexa Kammer, that I've been sparring with up there. Another boxer that I was sparring with like 2 Mondays ago. I sparred with him like 2 weeks in a row. Ronnie Hines.
Yeah,
You-
I've heard of
yeah,
him. I
yeah.
have heard of him.
Yeah, he's signed by Top Rank. He's heavyweight. I sparred with him, tall, southpaw.
Worst
Sparred
type
with
of
him
guy.
as well.
Worst type of guy to fight.
Yeah.
In fact, he's tall with it, but he's a southpaw besides.
Yeah, it creates more problems. And
Now,
then
are
you
you-
got speed to
normally
it,
when
and it
you're-
creates even more.
Like when you're
So-
getting ready for a fight, you have a guy that you spar with. He's not trying to beat you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, are you the guy they're trying to beat, or are you trying to beat? You know what I'm
What do you
asking?
mean? What do you
spar-
mean?
no, when you're sparring.
You have a sparring
you're
partner.
You're not trying to. If you like, if I hit him and I hurt him, I back off.
Right.
If I drop him, you back off.
Are you that
I wish
guy?
I had a partner like
no,
that.
that's what.
No,
No,
which
no.
guy? Which guy are
trying
you,
not-
or is it like a brawl when you guys are in there
You're
together?
working hard, but correct me.
mean-
You're working hard. You're trying, but you're not trying to knock each other out because it's a learning space. Because you ain't getting paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
You leave. You know the old saying, you don't leave the fight in the gym. That's when you leave it a fight in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
When you're sparring every day, you're trying to make it a war every day. Sometimes you just learning certain things. Sometimes you get caught. I've been dropped in the gym. I've dropped guys in the gym, and like I said, you back off, and you know. So you work hard. Get ready close as you can to a fight, but it's not.
I guess
the
what I'm
same.
asking is, you're training for the fight. They're not.
You
Are
might be
you
in
the
this
guy
fight. You might
that's-
be in
are you
fight
the
camp at
not?
the same time
Or
as
the-
somebody
that's
somebody
what I'm
else.
asking.
So
Right.
you guys both might be getting ready for a fight. But yeah, I mean, if I'm getting ready for a fight and I'm in fight camp and none of my teammates are, we might split it up. Like if I have if I'm fighting 3 5-minute rounds and I wanna do a fourth round for like an extra push, I might have 4 guys like set out for each round. Mm-hmm. And it's like I want a fresh guy on me each round pushing me, because if I have somebody that's not in fight camp, not in as good a shape, and they're going 3 rounds straight with me, they're going to get tired before I do.
Of course.
And at some point, maybe halfway through the second round, it's no longer going to be good work for me. Like I'm not seeing something that I'm
That's
actually
right.
going to see during the fight. So I might have a fresh guy come in every single round.
Right.
Or I've done it like this before too, where I have 3-4 guys, and they'll split like the rounds 5 minutes, and I'll be in the full 5 minutes of each round, and then those guys will
minute
be
and a half or something like that.
2.5. We'll split it, so it'll be
Yeah.
4 guys. So the first round will be guy A for the first 2.5,
Right.
guy B for the next 2.5, completing the first round. Then the third person's the first part of the second round,
Right.
and the fourth person's
Right.
the second part of the second round. And then we
That's
cycle the way
like
through.
I said. When you were sparring partner, that's what I used to do. Guy would come in for 1 round, 2 rounds. The other guy go 2 rounds, and you mix them up. He'd mix them
Yeah.
up. You know.
Yeah. Recently though, I've been I do different sparring. I do kickboxing sparring. I'll do boxing sparring. Then I'll do MMA sparring. I do them all separately.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, MMA, you're bringing everything together. But I still do the other stuff too.
that was my question. Yes.
Yeah. So like recently, I've been sparring. I just sparred Lubomir Pinchuk. You guys know him. He's from Ukraine. Couple-time national champ. He's a pro here now. 13-1, I believe. Fights from Mike McSorley down in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, really good. He has a bright future ahead of him, and I've been sparring with him. Like I said, Ronnie Hines, I've been going up strong style, getting sparring at the Mat Factory Club. So everything's a little bit different. I try to get sparring in each different.
Genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's important. Look, I was telling, we were talking earlier. I did jiu-jitsu. We've talked about here for almost about 13 years, and just like it's just for the street, not competing, you know. And then I got coming in with a couple guys with the Muay Thai guys. They showed me how to kick, and then they start playing with you, and they start kicking you, and you go, hey, man, stop that stuff, you know. And they go, and they're laughing, you know.
Yeah.
So they're saying, oh, come on, Ray, come on, you know. And I'm thinking, oh man, all right, well, they're not, I can't see on the outside. I got to get close.
Yeah.
So and then you figure out you got to feint and then come up with the jab and get in close, bang. And as soon as you hit feint and jab, they pull up like this, so I can get close and start banging that body, and then they start pulling your head down, and you pull, so it's fun. Point is, when you're not used to the genre, it's a headache. You take an ass kicking for a while until you get it. You have to learn, and that's why when guys start kicking my legs, I figure on the outside I had to figure out a way. I can't let this, but that's how you learn, But you're gonna take your ass kicking first, along before you get.
Tell me, when we first talked to you, you hadn't fought for Bellator yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was an amateur up until that
And
point.
you're
I got my
going
pro contract, but I didn't fight yet.
Did you, going into that first fight, take people, if not familiar, take them through that first fight. Did your wrestling background kind of transfer into it like you thought it would, into the pro ranks and things like that?
Well, my first fight, I striked the whole entire time. The kid ended up coming down with a knee injury like a minute and 5 seconds into the fight, so I ended up getting the TKO.
Did you do it, or did he just tweak
it?
it?
I think, personally, I think he was looking away for a way out of the fight.
Okay.
Me and my coach think that, and I hate saying that
No,
about
but
another
no,
fighter.
just say no.
But looking back at the film, like how I felt during the fight, how the fight was going, I was touching him up pretty good. I hit him with a couple power shots. I was peppering mostly, but whenever I was hitting him with power, you could see the look on his face, and he was backing away. He didn't have any answer for any of my strikes. He was running the entire time, and I felt like whenever I walked him down towards the end of the cage, I hit him with that 4 or 5 strike combo. And after that, he just didn't want to be in there anymore. So he had a knee sleeve on the one knee, and I feel like he just went grabbing for it as soon as I hit him again, just for a way out, honestly.
I know what he's talking about, because a lot of guys do that. Well, as if we were talking about as a fighter, if the referee tells you, better show me something, I'm going to stop it, and you back right into the corner, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Stop it,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
It's
Looking for a
their
way
way
out.
of looking for a way out.
Yeah, losers, they'll always, whether it's 1 loss, 2 loss, whatever. If you watch their fights, usually losers they'll fight with you at first, but yeah, as soon as they start feeling the pressure or they start feeling like they're out of it, they'll start looking for ways out.
Sure.
They'll start like, how can I get out of this? What can I do?
There was fighters, but they come in. It's like any genre. There's action boxers there was one guy used to take them on the road, and he was going all over the country, and he'd bring guys and he'd bring them. And how many rounds you need my guy to go? I need him to go 3 rounds. Okay, we need my guy to go. You need your guy to go 2 rounds. We need him to go to distance. Whatever. He wanted to give. He'd have these guys, and he'd tell them, "Look, man, and these guys were all tough guys. They weren't great fighters, but they're road warriors. But and he'd say, "Look, man." He'd say, okay, you need him for, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. He'd say, hey, my guys are not going to fall down. They're not going to sit down. He said, they're like sprinters. He said, this guy's going to, it's not a marathon, it's a sprint. He's going to go out as long as he can, as hard as he can, and give everything he's got. But once he runs out of gas, then that's it. He's going to look for the soft spot. But it'll make it exciting for as long as it goes. But that's okay, because everyone needs the first 2 or 3 rounds. They're going to catch up, but you need to learn that. So there's those type of guys, that are going to be the opponents, and they understand what their job is. And the other guys are going to take it a distance. They're not going to, so that's been boxing forever. So yeah, I figured it would be in MMA too. And the guys are tough guys. They're as tough as you come. But they're not winners in the sense that they understand they're making more money as coming as the opponent than I would any way else.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, to answer your question, I didn't wrestle at all during that first fight, and I felt like if the fight would have went on longer, I would have knocked him out within the next minute or so.
Do you feel like, though, the wrestling is your strength, though? I know you're trying to be as
it
well-rounded
all depends on the opponent. It really does. Like with mixed martial arts, you can change from fight to fight, and it's really how you're feeling that day, what's working best for you. Stylistically, like you said, styles make fights. I might be a better striker than somebody, but something he's doing in his striking game might be causing me problems. But we both might have fought the same 5 guys, and I knocked all 5 guys out, and all 5 guys knocked him out. But there might be something that he's doing himself that's throwing me off. Maybe a way he's moving, the way he's throwing a certain combo, maybe his weight, his height, whatever it ends up being. I mean, like he said, styles make fights, so it all depends on the person. So some people I might strike with, some people I might wrestle with, some people I might try to submit, some people I might try to TKO on the ground. It all depends on the fighter at the end of the day. So, I mean, to sit here and tell you what my strength is, it's tough, because when I first started, it was wrestling, but like through training, everything else, and I still do wrestle now. I still do practice my wrestling. It's just like I've seen myself progress and become a better mixed martial artist over the years in each fight. That like I honestly I couldn't tell you what my strength is in MMA. A wrestling match and wrestling and MMA fight are completely different.
You're more well-rounded now.
Yeah.
More well-rounded. Yeah.
So you're ranked number 10.
Yeah, 10 at 205. But since I'm moving down to 85, there's more guys at 85 in Bellator, so I'll probably drop out of this top 10 rankings for a fight or two. But shouldn't take long to get back up in there.
And you were politicking to move down? Is that what you were saying?
That's what I want to do, because I feel like I give anybody at the 185-pound weight class trouble. I mean, I feel the same way at 205 pounds, but
That's a hell of a difference.
yeah,
20-pound difference.
Yeah, but I feel like I walk around at 205 pounds at the most.
Okay,
like
so-
right now, I weigh 205 pounds.
Me too.
You carry well. You carry well. Carry it a little differently. A little differently.
I'm 196 now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Strict plan. Go ahead.
So I walk around at 205 pounds. That's not good, especially like in MMA. A lot of these guys are wrestlers. They're experts at cutting weight. These guys are weighing 230, cutting down to 205. Next thing you know, they're rehydrating. They might stick a freaking IV even though you're not supposed to. Start drinking a gallon of water, eat, have an insulin rebound. They're up to 225, 230 pounds whenever they step in the cage. I'm still at 205.
Right.
Not saying I can't handle that, but why give myself that disadvantage?
right.
You
Well,
know?
I totally agree.
And at the end of the day,
you eat too, though. You eat too, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to put on 10, 15, 20 pounds.
yeah, no, I do.
If
But
you
at
eat
the end
right,
of the day,
it's only put 3 or 4 pounds
at the end of the day, if I'm walking around at 205, and at the end of each day, I'm weighing 210 because of the water I drank and the food I ate. But then I wake up in the morning and I step back on the scale saying 205 again. So I might weigh 210 when I get in the cage, but I'm actually still I'm carrying 205 pounds of actual weight. There might be 5 pounds of food and water in my system, but these guys are actually they're depleting their bodies of water, so they shrink. Because your muscles are made mostly of water, so, and then whenever you start rehydrating, your muscles absorb the water like a sponge.
Right.
So you actually you'll see somebody at weigh-ins, then you'll see them in a fight, and they'll look way bigger in the fight, and the reason is because they actually are bigger.
Right.
They didn't lose the weight by dieting. They might have lost part of it, and then they might have been 2 days, 3 days before the fight, 15 pounds over. Then they start to cut all that out with a sauna suit, running, sitting in the sauna, just sweating everything out. And then as soon as they get on the scale, it might say 205 pounds. But then the next day, or as soon as they step on the scale, they drink a gallon of water. There's 8 pounds in their body.
Well, I guess my question is, if you win your first 2 fights convincingly, which you did, you're ranked number 10. Now you're on the climb, as
Yes.
he likes to say. Why are you going down because you kind of want to, or because they found someone they want you to fight down there, or is there a reason for it why you're allowed to do it?
I feel like to myself and my coaches, my career is better off at 185 pounds for now. Now, I'm not saying not in the future that I won't move
'Cause
back
how old
up
are you?
to 205, 24.
Okay.
Won't move back up to 205, whether it be permanently or for a title fight, like a cross division title fight, whatever it ends up being. But I think right now in my career where I'm at, I think the best move for me is
If you could do it.
185
If you
pounds.
could do it without depleting
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
and hurting yourself.
And I can. I did it once as an amateur, and that's same day weigh-ins. Now I get 36 hours after weigh-ins to rehydrate, eat, and everything before I fight.
Is the
Also-
road a little bit easier with the opponents?
I-
Or maybe-
I-
I would say
185
easier.
185 pounds in Bellator has more depth. So honestly, there's you have Gegard Mousasi, who is a UFC legend, Lyoto Machida, who's a UFC legend. Douglas Lima's moving up to 185 pounds. He's a 170-pound champ in Bellator. He just beat Rory McDonald, who was an ex-UFC champ, former Bellator champ, just moved to PFL. There's a lot of big guys, big names in 185 pounds, and there's more people too. There's more prospects on the rise. There's guys that I'm not going to mention their names right now, but there's prospects on the rise in the weight class that I'm eyeing up right now that I want in the near future.
Right.
And so it's not that the fights are going to be easier, it's that the talent isn't as good. I feel like the talent's actually better at 185 pounds. I'm not looking at talent when I'm looking at what weight class I'm going. I'm looking what's going to be best for me. I'm not worried about my opponents.
I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about my opponents. I'm worried about what can I do
That's
to
right.
improve myself.
That's right.
So I might be going down to a tougher weight class, but at the end of the day, I know it's going to make me better. I feel better at 185
Quality
pounds.
opposition is a lot
Yeah, I might be on the taller end of things at 185 pounds. Not saying I am, but that might be one reason for going down. Maybe a speed advantage, strength advantage, size advantage, like we talked about with the 205 with cutting weight. Just stylistically, like who's in the weight class, what do they do? Is it primarily the wrestlers? Is it easier to wrestle guys at 185 pounds, 170 pounds, whatever somebody ends up cutting to? There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So it's not like as clear cut as like is 185 pounds easier. Is that why you're going down? It's at the end of the day, it's what's best for my career.
Well, I'm sure people are asking it, so
Yeah.
I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
Do you-
No offense taken to it or anything. It's a hard thing to explain.
If that weight class has more depth, how often, for you, we've had this conversation, how often would you like to fight? Like, how much time between fights is good for you? For you, it was what, 6 weeks? Was your favorite?
When I won the title in May, I had 3 fights before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Excuse me, is that air conditioner on or
No,
is
that's
that
the rain.
outside?
That's the rain.
I
It's coming down.
figured that. That's
coming down.
See, that was the yoke. That was the yoke. Man, that's coming down pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing that. I don't know if you can hear it, ladies and gentlemen. This.
We're right on the river.
Of course.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
can hear
hey,
it.
all for the art. Show must go on.
That's right. So for him, it was 6 weeks. But
Yeah.
I don't know if in your sport, if it's the same
training wise.
same
Training
Yeah,
wise.
same
I,
training regimen as he
Six
had.
weeks.
See,
Perfect.
I would like to fight every 6 to 8 weeks personally, unless like an injury or something comes up.
Sure.
But training perfect was 6 weeks when I peaked. That's what I think.
Yeah. I would say every 2 months, if we're being honest. That's what I would like to, but Bellator ain't gonna give me that. Last year I fought
That's
twice.
too long?
Last year I fought twice.
No.
Fought
Oh,
twice.
too
and I was,
short.
I was asking for fights. And
He wants fights.
Yeah, and they weren't giving them to me. So like I don't have as much leverage as pull
How come?
right now because I'm just starting out my career
And
as
there's
a
a lot
pro.
of guys.
And that's how it works?
Yeah, and there is a lot of guys. They got to put a lot of guys on a lot of cards, and like I'm not that guy yet.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm not that guy. I'm not the face of the promotion yet. So like I don't get to tell. I'm not Conor McGregor or the UFC. I don't get to tell them what I do, how often I want to fight,
Right.
who I want. Like I don't get to do that.
Not
you
yet.
know?
Not yet. Not yet.
All right, for this third fight, do you know who you're fighting against?
No, I don't have an opponent yet. We just, like I said, got confirmation that it's gonna be at 185 pounds. So that was like kind of like the hassle or
Sticking
anything.
point.
Yeah.
So we're
up
right,
until
but
then.
we're right about 8 weeks. We're right about 2 months away, right? March 3rd,
9 weeks.
May 9th or
Yeah,
whatever.
nine-
So we're
9
getting
weeks.
close. Does that affect how you train at all, or is this I train how I train and then I'll worry about the opponent when
No,
I get
yeah,
the
I worry about myself, but as soon as I get the opponent, we'll watch film. We'll see what he does. We'll see how I can counter his attacks or his weak points or anything like that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep training like I do, and as soon as we get the opponent, whether it be 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out, whatever ends up being, that's whenever we'll review the film and see where my strengths defeat his weaknesses.
Are you a good swimmer? If I feel like we may have to swim our way out of here. It's
I
coming
could
down,
float.
man.
I
You can
could
float.
float.
Wow.
Italians aren't the best swimmers.
Wow.
I could float.
We can't help it.
You know,
Oh,
Don,
that's-
you know, Don, because you said, you know, when you're on the way up, you want to be, like I said, you want to fight as often as possible. That's
Just
the-
for experience or to get that record
no,
or
no, for experience.
Okay.
You know, you want to fight, but you want to get the experience. Plus, you want to get paid.
Right.
You
But
know,
you don't want to
but-
lose. I
No,
mean,
no,
you don't
no,
want
no,
to take
no,
a fight
no,
you might
ain't
lose
believing it. You
just
ain't
to
thinking
take a
about-
fight.
You ain't thinking about losing. You ain't thinking about that. You're thinking about getting the right fights for the right money. That's all. But you know, it's your career. It ain't like it's a hobby. It's a career. You got you know, got to eat. Got to
Right.
put money away. Got to take care of my family. You know, things like that. So it's fighting as often as possible. So I understand, but when, you know, he's got to wait because Bellator's got a lot of guys. It's like the PBC fighters. They got a lot of guys. You know, and next thing, how many? You know, and
Who are you depending on to set the match?
Bellator's the
They're gonna do
promotion,
it.
So yeah, they have a matchmaker. They
Yeah.
match the fights. They give me offers like, all right, like you might have this guy and this
3
guy.
or
Who
4
do you
guys.
want?
They give you 3 or 4 guys. You
They
can
haven't
pick
given me
from.
3 or 4. They gave me 2 for the last one to pick from.
Okay.
So they'll throw a couple guys at you. They might throw one at you at once, and you either say yes or no.
Right.
But sometimes they throw 2 at you, maybe 3 in a rare
So, yeah.
scenario, and you're like, all right, which guy do you want, and you choose. So
And this is some, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dalton. See, what I tell people, it isn't like, oh, he's the easier guy. No, what the best style for you.
Yeah.
People used to say to me, like I'd say, people say, oh, guys that box give problems. I said, no, on the contrary, the guys who stand in front of me give me more problems. I'd rather have a guy move away, because I knew how to cut the ring off, and I'd walk him down, and I'm going to stop him eventually. I'm going to catch them. Guy stands in front of you, it's a firefight. Firefight, first punch
you
gets
never
in.
know, right.
It could be the lucky punch gets in, and you're in a war. You know, I used to do this all the time, and I think I might have said it to you if I didn't. People used to say to me, "Oh, what's the last thing you do before you walk into the ring?" And I'd say, we'd be ready. I'd stop. I'd go in to the bathroom. I'd look in the mirror. And I look because I said, I knew I was not going to look the same on the way out. So psychologically, I just took one last look because I know. And that was a thing for me. I knew I wasn't going to look. But that's part of the deal. You know you're going to war.
Pretty people do.
You know what? Well, you're going to war. You're going to war.
Uh-huh.
And that's, so psychologically, I just I'm not going to look the same. Mm-hmm. And it was just the thing I did. I used to look, you know.
Do you do anything?
Not like that, no.
No,
I
but
don't.
I'm just saying. You know
Maybe not like that.
Look at my ear.
Yeah, I see that.
I lost that prettiness a few years ago.
So
I-
now what?
I
You
ain't
just
as
pray,
lucky
or
as
what do you do?
I throw headphones on and just listen to
Cool out,
music.
yeah.
Kind of, just try
Till
to
it's
get
time
in
to
my
go out.
zone.
Yeah.
Nobody talk to me.
Right.
Get in my zone. Whenever it's time to start warming up and hitting mitts, same thing. Throw some music on. So hit mitts. No one talk to me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
See, that was the difference. When people would say, I wanted people, my friends, we'd say, they'd cut them, and we'd be quiet. I said, no, man, come on, Todd.
Yeah.
I wanted the conversation because what they say, they give you the, all right, you know, half hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, and stuff like that. You know, okay, you put the robe on, and 5 minutes ago, then you know, you're hitting the pads and all that stuff, and 5 minutes ago, now you're shaking out, and it's all done, and going to war now. I mean, it's on. So I like to talk to people. I did because I knew what I was going into. I just for that moment I wanted to escape. But the fight's never away from you. You always have it, and then boom, you get that tunnel vision. And that walk from the dressing room to the ring, and I tell people this all the time. That walk from the dressing room to the ring, more fights are won and lost from that walk between the dressing room and the ring than inside the ring. People go, what do you mean by that? Psychologically,
You might be wearing a 40-pound vest.
Right.
Right. Or you go out
lights
there,
up.
and all of a sudden, you get hit with the crowd.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, you've
Nerves
seen
start
guys,
setting in.
and they get overwhelmed by it, and they get overwhelmed, and I've seen that, and that's not a one-time thing; it's an every-time thing. Could be some of the best fighters. Tommy Hearns when he fought Marvin, Tommy went out, he got overwhelmed by it, and you know he just did, and he's talked about that later on. So it happens. So that's what I'm saying. It's a mindset you have to have, and you can't be comfortable anytime you go to war, and it's something. That walk, man, tells you everything. So people say, what would you do? I said, I talk to myself. You go on, you see the crowd, you focus. It's my ring, this is my night. You know, things like that. I'm the champ.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
Big. I talk to myself
You
too.
got to tell you, talk
Yeah.
to
So what do you say?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Like, this is my ring. He came here. He has to go through me. He's just he's a guy in my way for my goal. So, nothing personal, but I got to get you out of the way.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Like not personal, Mike, but
Nothing personal.
But I'm gonna have to.
You got to
take,
feel
I'm
like
gonna have to take you out.
You
I
are
don't-
confident. I know you're very confident.
But-
But you've
no.
never seen me fight.
No, tis true. Tis true.
Nor has anyone
Tis
else.
true. Tis true. Now, don't you mind? Look, since she's here, would you like to come and ask some questions? Since you're here, we'd like to have you.
Oh, I
be
have
part
one
of it.
more question.
Well,
Can
go
I
ahead.
ask
She
one
can
more
be part
while
of
she
it.
comes over?
Can she come in and be part of
Okay.
it? Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question I bet that other people are thinking.
Okay.
How about that?
Come on. You get the camera's on you, love.
she comes.
You're gonna get your shot. You're getting your shot, champ.
right.
You're gonna get your
Here,
shot.
and you can introduce yourself too.
Go ahead.
All right. Tell me
Go
your
ahead.
name. Tell me your name.
Jenna Delicio.
Okay. And what year are you in school?
I'm a senior.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm going into business. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet.
Okay. Did you
Is
meet
that-
Dalton yet? This is Dalton Rosta.
I didn't. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Great. All right, hang on. Come up with a question and maybe a follow-up. But I'm going to ask this first, okay?
Okay.
All right. You let the wheels start turning. All right. I'm not. You know, if you don't have to answer, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, because I think a lot of people out there are like, this
All
guy's
right,
2-0.
I'm not answering it.
Damn it. This guy's 2-0. This is his job. What do you get paid? Like for the next fight? What are you going to get paid for the next fight? And if you don't want to answer me, just say I can't answer.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
not
little
allowed.
personal.
I mean, you get paid-
I
you get
defer to
paid-
answer that one.
Do you get paid per fight?
Yeah, I get paid per fight.
Do you get paid
So
if you win? Do you get more?
I get a show person, and I get win money as well.
What if you don't win?
If-
What if
just
the other guy
person.
doesn't win?
If I weren't to win,
Yeah.
I would just get my show money.
Uh-huh.
Which, like, after the fight, they come up with my show check first,
Right.
and then I'll go backstage. I'll check up with the doctor as soon as I walk out from the doctor. Then they have my win bonus.
I love that. I said I know that.
Into the mic,
Dana
into the
did
mic.
that. I love what.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, hello. Is this thing on? Is this thing? Anyhow, it's like I'm here. I'm like looking between this thing.
Right there, though.
But we're gonna give it that. Me and Dana, we're gonna go back. And
No,
forth.
we're going.
Anyhow, that was the one thing I liked about MMA. which I think boxing got to do, because everywhere you're guaranteed X amount. MMA, you're both guaranteed X amount, but for show. If you win, you get more, X amount more. And it's in boxing, you just guaranteed your money.
Right.
I think, man, it would be so much better fights, much more competitive.
Right.
And there's no reason they can't do it. There's no reason. They should be doing it.
So do you have another job that you do to kind of make ends meet, or is this
No,
it?
just this.
I mean, you're all in
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
MMA.
Look, you can't. If you're going to be a fighter and be a champion, you got.
Well,
that's
if you
it.
have a family or
I
something.
understand that, but that's why he wants to fight more. I mean, look, I used to say that. People say I had no job. I went to New York. I moved. That's it. It was my life. It was my career. That's why I was fighting regularly. I was fortunate enough to stay healthy enough to fight regularly. I was fighting average of once a month because I was bouncing around the country all over. But a lot of guys, like you said, they train. They got to fight, feed the family. That's why I don't advise fighters, whether boxers, MMA guys, especially a good-looking kid like this. You're young. I'm sure you'll
thank
go
you.
for it.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
That was her question. Way to ruin it.
You
have a girlfriend?
Well, she's already, she's already giving me that. Anyhow, well, she's gonna ask questions. She says, "I want to know if he's married." Anyhow,
Don't take her question. That might have been it.
but my father told me. He just said, "Raymond, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but here's my advice: don't get it serious or have a relationship because your career's got to be your lady." And what happens is usually the relationship isn't successful or the career isn't successful. But what mostly happens is both aren't successful. So I had a girlfriend here, high school girlfriend. I had a girl I dated for a while. When I was turning pro, don't go. I was like, hey, nice knowing you. It's good to see you.
Don't let the door hit you.
There's nothing going to stop me going to New York to be what I wanted. That was my dream. I mean, that was nothing. And I feel bad, but you shouldn't. But again, success is the greatest aphrodisiac. And my man will tell you that, right?
There you go.
It's like, it's... Anyhow, but
Here we
Keep
go.
it appropriate.
She wants to
Let's
ask
go.
a question.
Jennifer wants to. A little bit.
Well, I was just gonna ask what your family thinks about you fighting, and did you always know that you wanted to fight?
Good
I
question.
That's a beautiful question. That's a wonderful
Way
question.
better than mine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Much better than yours. Much better.
yeah, I mean, I don't talk to my mother anymore, and my dad passed away like 4 years ago, so.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have my brother's all for it, and then my cousin Adam, he's all for it. He's my hype man. He always hyped me up. You have to.
You gotta have the happy.
But yeah, I have a
Does he come
couple
out
of them.
singing a rap song?
No.
Yeah.
No, not quite that much.
Some ass. Huh.
Yeah, but so like the family that I do talk to, they're for it. But yeah, I mean, whenever I was growing up, I watched WWE. I watched a lot of like cartoons with like fighting and stuff. So I was like always interested in that stuff. And then like I started watching UFC with my dad. Wrestled at a young age. He put me in boxing at like 11, 12 years old. And then like we would always like whenever I started jiu-jitsu on the weekends, like whenever there's a fight card, like the whole gym would get together and have like a little cookout or whatever, order the pay-per-view and we all watch it. And like me and my dad always talked about like either like my dream was either go to NFL or be a UFC champ. So those were like one of the two things that I wanted to do. And it's like I didn't quite at the time know which one I loved more, but I loved both of them. So and it turns out that MMA ended up being the way to go. So I'm chasing that dream full on right now.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, man. Hey, but look, that's more often than not. Mike's telling me, I mean, my
Production.
mentor, Mike, you're my mentor. You're my champ. You're my champ. Anyhow, look, I thought I could talk loud.
Well, you
Anyhow,
can. You can. Just better.
no, I appreciate
Want
it.
to be the best.
It's like when you have to do an interview, right? You get the microphone in, and I'm asking a
Oh,
question.
I've done that. Like you're talking, and
Goes
then
to
they're
talk, yeah,
talking,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
got
yeah.
it backwards.
Yeah,
I've done
you
that
do
many
it, yeah,
times.
and then next thing you know, I'm talking, and like you said, when you don't know, we're not going the way up. I always knew what I wanted. I was fortunate. I was very fortunate to fill out my dream, live my dream. And it's funny you talk about when you watch with your father. You know how many times I get the greatest feeling, I get the greatest compliment when people say to me, me and my father, or me and my grandfather, or me and my family used to sit there and watch your fights. It's the greatest compliment I could ever receive. And say that was our together time. And a lot of guys tell me that was, me and my father came closer watching the fights. Yours and others, Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns and all that. And it's a great feeling. It's a beautiful thing. But that is whether if it's a male thing or not, but it's the bonding thing.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like the father-son bond, and he, like I said, but he was all for like me pursuing like fighting as a goal. I mean, before it was wrestling in high school, and he would drive me. We talked about this on the show last time. He would drive me all across the state of Pennsylvania, like in high school, to get better because I wanted to be a state champ. Barring injuries, I probably would have been, but ended up getting injured my junior and senior year before postseasons both years. But he was driving. The point was that we were putting in the work to do it, and I couldn't have done it by myself.
No.
He was driving me to Du Bois, like, because there was a state champ up there that he researched and called the coach. Can my son Dalton Rosta get in and work with you guys? He wants to wrestle the best in the state. Then I was driving down to Canonsburg, Washington County, Reynolds, which is in Greenville, which is like 45 minutes from me, Boardman, Ohio. Like I was bouncing all over the place.
Yeah,
so
taking you.
yeah, so he was all in for wrestling,
good.
and I know he would have been all in for MMA too. But I just started like fighting full time before, like as an amateur. Like I had my first fight coming up, like whenever he got in a motorcycle accident and was in hospital, and the fight was like on the horizon. So he never got to see me fight or anything, but he would have been all for that too.
Oh, beautiful, man. Because we're gonna get the last. She's gonna give us the last question.
Oh, good.
Is that
All right,
okay?
let me ask you this then, and I'll be done.
Think of
I
one.
promise. Think of another one. What do you are you just like training 24/7 all the time, or is there something you like to do other than that? Do you ever just go have a beer with your friends, or do you throw darts, or do you read books, or is there anything else you just like to do to get away from it?
No, I mean,
Or is it-
I've
your
actually
full
never
go?
I've never drank alcohol
Yeah?
ever a day in my life.
Well, it's great.
Yeah,
We're at a
never
winery.
never even had a sip. Never even tried it. Never been. Never wanted to. Never. And
Well, I admire that. But let me clarify. Beer. When I used to train, not that I come out of the plea, my trainer, you feel Griff say, my trainer Murphy Griffin said, Ray, what do you feel? I said, Griff, man, I feel a little, man, my body's shut down. Go get a beer. You get a beer. Beer give you a little boost because it's got malt, barley, and hops. It's grain. So actually food. It's actual food. So, once in a while-
there's other ways to
Yeah, that's an
no,
enabler.
you are. No,
You also could just
but
eat
it's
food.
psychological effect too. You're getting a treat, so to speak. But it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. No, there's no dispute. I mean,
because you enjoyed that, but like I
I'm
figured.
not a beer drinker. I'm not a beer drinker. That was the only time. I'm not a beer drinker. I'm a wine guy. No, that's Jesus juice. Come on, man. You gotta have a sip of the grapes. That's Jesus. Come on. You drink wine, right?
She's 17.
That's okay. No, that's a, no.
Well,
it's a
you
culture.
did it. Can't get her
No,
in trouble.
no. She can't drink it out. But I have my son. My sons were young. I'd say,
Like
I
Christmas
didn't give him a
dinner
glass of wine. They
or
go, well,
something.
sir. I go, order, and I give it to him. It's my son, as long as he's with me.
Right.
So my point being, no, you can't order, but it's a cultural thing. So at home, do you drink at home?
I mean,
Like with your food, with your
holidays.
yeah, exactly.
There
yeah.
you go.
Hey, mom, dad, let me just say, mom, she's old enough to have the Jesus juice. Come on, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's for her heart and all that.
Offended. I
Yeah,
can't
I
tell you how
know.
many people.
I
this
know.
offended.
Oh no, we know it is.
He's on one today.
I know. He's trying to get you to start drinking.
I know. Being a bad influence, man. I'm trying to be a world champ over here. I'm
You're
not doing alcohol
No, because
to
it's
be
a
that.
boost. It's a boost, man. It's psychological too. When you're training your ass off, you need things to get you.
Pizza.
Well,
There you go.
See, I could say that wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
wasn't ever a food thing.
Is
You
there
know,
a pizza you like? That you just-
I love all pizza.
I just
Doesn't
want to tell you.
matter.
I just passed Sunday. Did the
Guess
expo
what he
here.
did? Guess
There
what
was
he
a,
did?
it was a pizza. They had the pizza
Slice
competition,
of the valley.
Slice of the Valley. I had to have. I couldn't eat it all, obviously. 18 different pizza places.
Yeah.
So they brought round of 6.
He's a judge.
Round of 6, and I was a judge. So you judge it on appearance, sauce, cheese, crust, and like the overall. So you take a little. They give you slivers, but you take a bite of one, and you take the piece. Of
Well, the first couple
crust.
you eat because
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hungry. then
After-
about the 12th
oh,
one, you're like,
God.
oh my god.
So
Yeah,
three months-
that's my boost. I usually eat healthy throughout the whole entire week. I actually have a meal prep sponsor, Yo Fresh now.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, we
they-
don't give my man a shout out here.
Yeah.
He come
So-
all the way to
Yeah,
see
From the
you.
yo.
yes. So I'm usually eating healthy throughout the whole week, and then I'll give myself a cheat meal, like kind of like a treat, like he said.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
alcohol, but
Yeah.
I'll do like
No.
pizza
I mean, but it's
or
a boost.
wings
It's
or something like
It's
that. Yeah.
grains, malt, barley, and hops. It's a grain.
See?
Yeah, it's like oatmeal. It's like
He-
oatmeal in
he
a glass.
needs a freaking
It's
alcohol
it's like
sponsor
alcohol.
for this
It's
show.
Like a loaf of bread.
alcohol in a glass. But no.
That was my last question.
So now what's come up? So you said May. That's the next one. You're training up to
What'd you say,
anything.
May 9th? Is that what you said?
May 9th, yes.
Okay.
May 9th.
So any
In what
personal-
city?
In San Jose, California.
Okay,
so I'm
very
going to
good.
come back to coronavirus.
No, you better not.
Yeah, I'm gonna
We better-
pass it along to all
That's
you
no way to
guys.
go.
Any personal appearances got come up? Any other special events that you want to let people know where you're going to be?
Nothing set yet. Pretty much, I just training right now, waiting for
Yeah.
my opponent, and then
Look,
rolling with the punches.
I want you to know you're always welcome here, because we're following you. We're keeping track. You're becoming our guy. I gotta have my guy to follow. I can't, because I don't follow anybody in MMA. I really don't. I've got Frankie Edgar was a friend of mine, so I was I'm still a Frankie Edgar fan. He's just, I think he's retired now.
He's not.
Not permanent.
Yeah,
Okay, 'cause
not
I know he
permanent.
hasn't fought in a while, but he
Yeah.
may fight again. Okay, I wasn't sure. But I'm a big fan of guys. I'm admired as guys who terrific athletes, just terrific athletes. And
Off the chart. Can we watch the fight anywhere?
Yeah, it'll be on DAZN.
DAZN.
Like the boxing
It's
app.
DAZN. I used to call it DAZN.
Or Dazen. Yeah.
And
I never know what it is
they
either.
go, no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced
Oh,
DAZN.
it is the zone. It is.
Yeah.
I was the one who kept saying DAZN. It's not. And then they go, no. And my friend Kate Abdo. No, Ray. It's the zone. The zone. Because
It's
her
just
fiance.
D-A-Z-N.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
the zone.
it's in a
I said
square.
the zone. Who'd have thunk it?
That's way
Because her
better.
boyfriend is one of the. Her fiance now is one of the guys is the commentators. So I said, oh, there you go, the zone.
The
Makes
Zone.
sense.
Yeah,
Now-
it's usually on Paramount Network and the Bellator app, but this fight show coming up that I'm on is pay-per-view. It has Bader and Nemkov is the main event, and then Douglas Lima and Gegard Mousasi are fighting for the vacant 185-pound title as the co-main.
So you got your eye on those guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
So
And
And
you're
they
kind
know
of
it.
be in the middle of it, or you think it'll be more toward the beginning? Or
I'll be on the prelims probably on a card like that.
You got to buy it from the beginning, Mike. You can't buy it in the middle.
No, I
Buy
want
it
to
from-
know. I don't want to sit through a bunch of jerks if I'm waiting to watch your
Nah.
fight,
Yeah.
you know?
Part of the deal. Part of the
Or
deal.
I don't want to miss your fight because
It's only $20 for the month.
Just buy the thing,
I'll
Mike.
buy it. I'll buy it for all of us.
But now, the was it Yo Youngstown?
Yo Fresh.
Yo
Yo Fresh.
Yo Fresh.
Yo Fresh.
The
Meal
Yo
prep.
Zone. The Yo Zone. Yo Fresh. Tell us a little. What's about the Yo Fresh? What is that?
We're a local meal prep company based out of Youngstown.
Thus the Yo. Thus the Yo. Okay.
Partnered with Second Harvest Food Bank. So we donate for every 10 meals purchased, we donate 12 back to Second Harvest. And we just kind of, with the help of Dalton, we've been able to link up with inspiring minds out of Youngstown.
Oh, I know Inspiring Minds. Good guys. Good guys. Very good guys. Inspiring Minds. A great organization.
Lots of good stuff going on. We're a local meal prep company in Houston. We've been around about almost
So you're based in Clanfield too?
It's pronounced Canfield.
No, where are you guys based out of?
Canfield, yes.
Oh, Did I
said
throw him off? I said,
Yeah,
Clan,
you
your
did-
boy
you
based
did
in
throw him off.
Clanfield. I said,
I think I mean personally.
oh no,
The kitchen.
the kitchen. Because I like to try it. So could you could get it like I could go there and buy it for my week.
No, you have to go online and order right now.
Or-
We have a location, but it's not like a retail spot.
I got-
It's
I
like
got-
e-commerce business.
Okay, e-commerce, so I can go pick it up. I gotta give it a shot. Me and my bride gotta give it a shot. I'd love to. That'd be
Great food.
Yeah.
Great food.
And we take the espresso off after the cooking.
You know what? I did see you on the news, at the morning news, 21. I did see it. Talk about it. It's a wonderful. Actually, it's a great thing. If you,
Plus, if you buy 10, they give 12 back to the Second Harvest Food Bank.
that's a beautiful thing.
That's fantastic.
That's a beautiful
How many
thing.
do you eat 2 at once or just one?
I usually just eat one, but
But it's enough. Fills you up.
oh yeah,
You
he,
pick
he
it.
hooks me up.
Okay, my man knows. See, there you go. There you go. So do you got the thing, the Yo Fresh on your thing?
On my
Like
shorts,
you look like
the logo's
look
gonna be
like
on
the
my
Fresh
shorts.
Prince of Bel. Yo Fresh. That's now that's his new nickname.
Yeah, that could be your new nickname.
Don't Yo Fresh.
It's not a bad nickname.
No,
This guy.
no, we're
Believe me, every week I go through this.
We're gonna let.
All right, you final word.
But one thing I want to ask you: if you had a nickname that you could think of, him, what would be a nickname?
Oh my gosh.
Not pretty boy. Not that. Don't give me
I
that. You don't think of nickname?
I have no
He comes
idea.
from Hercules. Well, he's built like Body Beautiful. I got that. Dangerous Dalton. Rock and Rosta. Actually, Rosta.
Rasta?
Rock and Rasta. Rasta man. Yeah, man. See, it's.
I
what
like
would
that
you nickname me?
one.
What
I
would
know.
you nickname?
I like that one.
What?
The Rock and Rasta.
Come on,
Rasta.
she's just stroking your ego right now.
That's it.
I like that one.
Dangerous Dalton.
That one's good too. I feel like the first one's more original though.
Rockin' Rasta. Dalton Rockin' Rasta. There we go. Give it a
Done.
shot. All right, no, it's just I'm gonna come here because I got it. I haven't seen me with the shirt up. I got it. Just, but last question for you.
Well, you guys kind of stole my question. I was gonna ask if you like follow like a strict meal plan, but I guess okay. So you said your record's 2-0. So how do you usually like celebrate your win?
Food.
Just
That's
food.
honest God, it's food. I mean, like
pizza.
after my last fight, it was in the Mohegan Sun Arena in the casino, and
What's it, Connecticut?
yeah,
That one?
huge. I mean, it was a 12,000 man arena inside the casino. Then they have like 2 separate casinos, a freaking bowling alley, a nightclub, an event center. It was massive, but there was like probably like 20, 30 restaurants inside of there, and
You visited every one of them.
no, I can't eat that much. But I went to an Italian restaurant and got I forget the name of it, and I got chicken parmesan. And,
I could eat that every
and
day.
Pasta, yes, it's one of my favorite foods for sure.
Did they bring out one of those desserts with the sparkler on it when you
No, they
won?
didn't.
Nothing like that? You didn't tell the
I'm
waiter?
not that
We're
special.
celebrating?
I'm not that special. But yeah, I did that, and then we gambled a little bit.
Don't you?
I
You
do.
like this birthday thing.
Did you bet on yourself?
No, I didn't.
No,
Were you on the board?
You can in your sport, can you not?
Yeah,
Because
you have to
fighters
be.
do it all the time. I
you have
never
to-
did. I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm not a veterinarian. I believed in myself. I wasn't,
Yeah, but with Bellator, you have to be on the main card in order to be like on FanDuel or DraftKings or anything like that. I have to be on the main card, and I was on the prelims for that one.
Ray lost a guy $5,000 last week.
No, it wasn't.
Told him what to bet.
So you owe him that money
No,
now,
no.
huh?
It was 12.
12. No, it was 1,200. I kept saying 5. It was 12. I kept saying
$1,200.
So the guy asked me, friend, I was at an event in Cleveland before the fight.
Under the mic. Into the mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, back to the mic.
So wait, did you tell him Wilder was going to win? Is
Yes.
that what oh my
He
god.
said,
And knock
my
him
guy
out.
said to me, Ray, what do you think is going to win? I said, Wilder's going to stretch him. Because I don't think Fury can fight a lick. I really don't, and I still say that. Big guy who can move. Fighting is a whole different thing. He don't do more, but he did a hell of a job that night. I'm not going to take away. Tyson Fury won. But I still think, I said, Wilder's going to stretch him. I said, and the best bet, it don't go 12. It'll be a knockout. Either way, it'll be a knockout. So what did he do? He told his guy, 500 on Wilder to win, 700 from knock him out. 1,200.
Yeah. They were talking on the freaking pregame show, like Steve Cunningham and I know Steve,
Yeah,
but Steve
US.
was talking and so Sean Porter and a couple other guys, and they were saying like it's more likely that Deontay Wilder wins by decision than Fury by knockout. And
Well,
look at it now, yeah.
The
I mean, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, they are experts though. They know
so
boxing.
cold. No,
yeah.
we're all so cold. Actually.
Yeah, but you guys know it better than
Right.
anybody else. So
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take
I would
it.
say, and I said the other thing. I said if it would be a knockout, it's Wilder. If it's a decision, it would be Fury. But I said the best bet. I told her best bet is it don't go to either way. It don't go 10 rounds. But Wilder will knock him out. And I hope he just bet that if he bet Wilder.
When you have people like Ray Mancini and Steve Cunningham and Sean Porter telling you that Wilder's gonna knock him out, I mean, who are you gonna put your money on? You're gonna trust these guys.
You are.
But that's
Look how
just
trusting he looks.
Just goes to show you that I know nothing. The one thing I do know is I know nothing.
That's it.
But-
I think what the point is, you just don't know.
Okay,
Nobody
here's what I
knows.
do know.
Yeah.
That we're getting a little long in the tooth, so we're
All
going
right.
to shut it down. And here's what I do know.
AJ over Fury.
It-
so we know.
no. Fury will beat AJ.
here we go.
No, AJ.
No.
Tyson Fury now will
Had to throw
beat.
in there.
He'll beat
That's
Josh.
fine.
He'll beat
No, you can
Josh.
throw it in.
We'll just have one little side bet. Little Parmesan.
Oh, yeah,
chicken
chicken
Parmesan
parms.
dinner. We'll
Yeah.
bet.
We'll hook you up at the
But
Sunrise
I'll tell you,
Inn.
here's the best bet. This young lady here is going to be a star, or whatever she picks to choose in life.
Really?
Whatever profession you choose, you will be a star because you got personality galore. She got personality, you got looks, you got it all, baby. You got the total package.
Right. If you're not a raging alcoholic that Ray wants you to be, you've really got a
And
chance.
how's your grade? How's your grades? Good grades?
Yeah, good grade.
You're a 3-point student.
Sounded a little hesitant there.
Well, she's not talking into the mic. That's why.
I'm asking.
Yeah,
that's
good.
all.
Share it. Share it.
I have a 4.2 GPA.
Okay.
I didn't want her to brag.
do you wanna go
figured
to-
this out. I just didn't
where
want
do
her
you
to
wanna
brag.
go to college?
I wanted to be humble about it.
Do you know where you want to go to college?
I got into the honors business program at Ohio University, so that's where I'm going.
Bobcats.
Beautiful.
Bobcats. Boy, that's a party.
We got
place.
a winner here,
Good
folks.
luck down there. Woo! You ever been down to
But
Ohio
I
University?
admire, and I hope you come back. And
Thank you.
and I appreciate it. Was this worthwhile coming out here today?
Heck yeah.
Because listening to this rain, we may be
I
doing,
know.
we may be getting in our boats and going home and not getting boats. And I don't know. But thank you for coming. You were
Thank
wonderful.
you for having me.
Wonderful, man.
All right.
And,
Will you come back?
Will I come back?
Yeah.
After
Oh, yeah,
next
as
time,
soon
we're
as
gonna have you
guys
back.
invite
You
me.
got to be one of our staples. You got to come back. You got to come back.
Is that
I love
cool?
you guys. Yeah, I love
All
you guys.
right.
Well, maybe we'll have some food for you next time.
Maybe
We'll
chicken
bring the food.
Because you won't be
parmesan.
training.
Yeah.
Because they're a hell of a.
Won't be training.
Now we have a hell of a chef here. I met him earlier, a couple weeks ago, and he's. But I want to thank our friends here at Charbonnet Winery. Char and Ben. Thus, Charbonnet.
Right.
But they give it the little French flavor, Charbonnet. I think we should call it Charbonnet.
Yeah, I do too.
Bit of a Charbonnet. Come on now, the girl Char, she likes that Charbonnet. Charbonnet. Anyhow, but thank you for having us. It's a wonderful place. Anybody come out here, downtown Warren, right over the bridge.
It's
They
on the right.
shuttle you over to the what's it, the
Robbins Theater.
What's that theater? Robbins Theater. For any show, you come here, have dinner beforehand. Just shuttle you over, just shuttle you back, have some after dinner drinks, or just some aperitifs. I mean, look, man, it's a great joint. It's spectacular. I will bring my bride out here soon. Soon as I can use my car instead of a boat. We'll be back up. But anything else? Anything else? Anything
That's
else?
it. Do you want to talk about your speaker series or not? Or are we done
Yes,
that? We done
yes,
that
thank
much?
you. Speaker series.
Just sit
our
through this
first
one more thing.
Our first event.
okay.
Our first
Yeah,
event.
good thing you're here.
March. Yeah, trust me.
Say
trust
that a
me.
lot.
It keeps me corralled. March 18th down at the Yor Center, downtown Youngstown, at the old Warner Brothers Theater, the Yor. We're gonna have our first event, the speaker series, our first one, and we're bringing in Michael Francese. And you know who Michael Francese is? Michael
Do
Francese.
you follow like mafia shows or anything like that? Do you like
no.
that sort of thing? Okay.
Michael Francese was the youngest capo in organized crime history at 24. In 1986, he was he was all the top mob bosses of all time. He was number 17. He brought more money into one single family since Al Capone at that time in the 1980s. Michael's a dear friend of mine who got jammed up, went away, and in jail, found God, became a born-again Christian. Now he goes out and speaks, but it's the best. It's the best. He comes out in his opening line is, "I've known you were expecting to see the Godfather, but I'm here to talk to you about God the Father," which is a great line. But he tells about his exploits. He talked about growing up. His father was one of the most recognizable and legendary mob bosses, who just passed away last week. We talked about it.
That's right.
He was 103 years old, oldest mob boss in organized crime history. His father just passed away. And Michael talks about his time having to sit down with John Gotti, having to sit down, running a family at 24 years old. And that's when I first met him. I met Michael in 1983 down on Mulberry Street in New York. I talk about that. But he was so brilliant and so bright. You listen to this, and I say this to folks, it's entertaining because you hear about these stories. It's entertaining. It's educational because he gives you about a tour of what it's like inside a mob family and how the organized crime is run. But it's life altering. It truly, truly is. How he changed his life. He did what everyone says you can't do. He walked away from the mob. He doesn't travel with bodyguards. He said, I got the greatest bodyguard in Jesus Christ. Michael's such a wonderful guy, very inspirational, and just one of the best people. Believe me, it's an event you don't want to miss. Downtown Youngstown at the Yor Center. You got to call and get tickets at the Yor ticket office. The Yor tickets. So call Downtown Youngstown. We have nothing to do with tickets. Please, March 18th. And there's different packages. Ask them about the packages. But believe me, it'll be one of the best nights you've had. You'll remember it always.
Part of the proceeds go to?
Oh, the proceeds, it's my foundation. It's my foundation. Now,
I'll do this for you
It's
one day.
it's for the Ray Boom Boom Mancini Foundation. And actually, we have a couple different, I wish I could tell you who the exact people are that could be recipients of the money this time. But thus, I don't have a card in front of me to tell you. But we will have, there are a couple different recipients. One of them is the young lady, if you looked at it, was from Youngstown, who had the house, I don't know if you know, it was all over the news. It was heartbreaking. I watched, I said, we got to do something for her. Young lady, her apartment caught on fire. She lost everything. This was only about a month ago. And it was heartbreaking. It was right before Christmas. Right before, or was it after? No, it was right before Christmas. It was right before Christmas. Everything burned down. Everything. She come here and she had nothing left. And it's heartbreaking to see that, So, anyhow, so we're gonna give some proceeds for her.
Fantastic.
Anyhow, so it's just I'm happy. I'm very proud of our organization. What we do, we try to help those who can't help themselves. We're a local organization. We keep it local, and that's the best part about it. So anyhow,
There it is.
speaker series March 18th. Please call down at the Yor and get tickets. The tickets are selling. We're selling pretty good. So anyhow, anything else?
That's it.
Lauren, anything you want me to say? Anything else? Okay. Well,
man.
until next time. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you, pleasure. It's such lovely to have you. You colored up the joint. You colored up, man. You really
A lot
do.
better.
You do.
Yeah.
It's like a flower, just the middle amongst all the thorns.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, till next time, take care of each other, love each other. Good night and God bless.